The US consumer keeps spending as retail sales tick up. Welcome to Market Insight. I'm Elena Casas. Retail sales rose by 0.1% in August, when economists had expected them to fall, in a sign that American shoppers are still confident, despite some signals that the US economy is weakening, especially a slowdown in hiring. That slowdown is expected to become more pronounced, though. So, will the tills keep bringing into the Christmas shopping season? Let's ask Sharon Martis, Director of Consumer Research at the London Stock Exchange Group. Sharon, hi. What's behind this stronger than expected sales number then?
Good afternoon, Elena. So the biggest increase that we saw in terms of retail sales numbers today was the non-store retailers and also the miscellaneous store retailers. And this is in line actually with what we've seen over the last earnings season, which is that the retailers that had the strongest omni-channel presence were the biggest winners. Consumers, especially the American consumer, is all about instant gratification. And they want to be able to order their items on their mobile and then pick them up on their way home from work. So this convenience that retailers are offering, like retailers like Walmart, is what's making them winners and really stand out in this time. On the flip side, we saw that gas prices saw the biggest decline, and this is mainly because gas prices were down. Also, there was a lot of weakness across the board along furniture, appliances, electronics, and this is mainly because the consumer is frugal and they're thinking twice about making any expenditure over $1,000 right now.
You say people are already thinking twice about expensive purchases. The economy is expected to get tighter in the next few months. What could that mean for retailers?
So retailers have already been warning us not to expect too much from them in the third quarter. In fact, we've received a significant amount of negative guidance. And as a result, we're seeing that our LSEC earnings forecast has come down significant for the second half of the year. Retailers are citing anything from like elevated prices, a cautious consumer, the macroeconomic conditions, all which are affecting the consumer going into the second half of the year. In fact, the consumer itself, we've seen a lot of volatility in consumer sentiment, especially because it's an election year, and the consumer is concerned about their job security. The unemployment is flashing red. So as a result, it's an interesting year going into the second half of the season.
One report today did say that holiday hiring of seasonal workers at America's big retailers is on track to be the second lowest since 2009. So how are retailers preparing for a potentially difficult holiday season?
Well, they've already been warning us, so they know that they're dealing with a frugal consumer. They also have learned that the consumer will only open up their wallets if they find a good discount. So they are shopping around promotional events. The biggest one approaching right now is in October around Amazon Prime, which will most likely boost October retail sales again. But as a result, what we're seeing is that the retailers are also becoming savvier. So what they're doing is that they're offering more merchandise on sale, but then offering less discounts on those items. So then it gives the illusion, the psychological effect that the consumer is indeed getting a discount when, yes, they are getting somewhat, but it's not a major discount. And that's good enough to entice the shopper to come into the stores.
The Federal Reserve is, of course, expected to cut interest rates tomorrow. Could that have an impact on spending in the coming couple of months?
I think if the Fed were to reduce any more of its rates, it would have to do because of the labor market report. And the one economic data that consumers are watching very closely is the unemployment number. That they understand that economic indicator very well. And if they start seeing that their friends and family around them are losing their jobs, they start to get even more concerned about their own job. Remember, the consumer is already thinking twice about their purchases. They're already holding back. You add that level of fear of losing their jobs, and then they're really going to pull back on spending, which is why we're seeing that our estimated earnings growth rate for both the third quarter at LSEC and the fourth quarter are in the single digits. And this is after 2 consecutive years of double-digit growth.
Is this good news at least for the discount retailers like Walmart if consumers are trading down?
Walmart is the best positioned right now in this climate. In fact, Walmart has gained so many new shoppers that are trading down, even from the upper middle class and the high-end consumer. The high-end consumer itself, they tend to pull back on spending when they see a lot of volatility in the market. And as a result, even Walmart has gained a lot of those new shoppers. If the volatility in the market continues surrounded by the unemployment or other factors, we could continue to see them gain even more high-end shoppers. So Walmart is best positioned. The discounters, Target, Costco, Amazon is well positioned. In fact, our StarMine data suggests that Amazon is likely to beat earnings estimates and post a positive surprise in the third quarter. So is the Gap, which owns Old Navy, because the consumers all about value right now, and Old Navy is able to give them that. So these two names are more likely to beat earnings estimates. There are other retailers as well that are poised to win, and those are the off-price retailers like Ross and TJ Maxx. They were a favorite during back to school, and they continue to be a favorite for the holiday season, especially because consumers can start eyeing right now what they want to give for gifts during the holiday season, and then put those items on layaway and start paying them little by little.
Thanks so much for that insight, Jerome Martis, Director of Consumer Research at LSEG. And that's your Market Insight. Don't forget, you can watch more videos on Reuters.com.